Shauna from Heart to Heart Horsemanship. Polka is my assistant. We'd like to show you what I refer to as the side glide. Basically, this is a movement of, now think about this with me, this is a movement of the front of the horse and the back of the horse going over the same direction at the same time. So it's not a mystery. Sometimes it gets a little bit overwhelming. The sideways movement is sometimes difficult for horse and human. So if you kind of break it down again into pieces, you're going to be able to move that forehand and that hind quarter the same direction at the same time. If you have a young horse that doesn't quite understand yet, you're going to break it down for him. You're going to be able to drive, put some driving energy to the forehand. You're going to put some driving energy to the hind end. And somewhere in the middle, you're going to be able to tell her, now don't go forward anymore, but move your front end and your hind end at the same time. Switch direction here. So I'm going to give her direction hand. I'm going to let her know that that's the direction, that's the path that we're on. I'm going to add in my energy hand, and wherever I need it, more energy is going to go. Show you again on this side. Establish our path. If you were here, excuse me, if you were here, you would know that I am focusing on a large tree over here. So that's a big part of it, is your focus. You've got to know where your straight line is, or you're basically just kind of pushing pieces of your horse around, which in the beginning, that might be what you get. That's okay. But when you start to get this put together, you're going to start using more of your focus so you can test it, so you know if you're actually side passing on a straight line, if you've got too much forward going on, if you've got too much backward movement going on, or if you've got too much zigzaggy movement going on. When you start, believe me, you will get some zigzagging. It's not a problem. But start using your focus. I'm focused over here on this large tree. I'm pointing basically at the tree, and I'm going to start adding in some energy here. A little bit forward she came, so I gave her a little bit of jiggle on the rope. Good. Good girl. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Gave her a little jiggle on the rope when she went forward. It reminded her that this was not a forward motion. In a sense it is, because you do want them crossing to the front. You don't want them crossing back behind and turning it into a backwards movement. But you're not wanting a lot of forward. So I gave her a little reminder. That's all she needed. She says, okay, that means sideways. So my energy hand had to do very little. Again, remember, we're working with a fairly sensitive mare here. So just a point, just a movement is usually going to give her enough. Now she's stuck. I'm going to give her more. When she gets unstuck, remember, when you add that energy in to get the movement, and they get it, don't keep your energy up at that level. Bring it back down. If you leave your energy up there, your horse is always going to expect you to have to get to that level before they move their feet. So you're teaching those increments. I will come up in these increments as high as I need to go to get some movement and to get what we need to get done. But I am always going to come back down to that smallest, tiniest cue, smallest amount of energy to let you know that this is what I want it to look like. Not having to push and twist and turn and put all of this extra energy. This should be a nice looking dance. It doesn't have to look like you're in battle. So the smallest amount to whatever amount you need, back down to the smallest amount. When she gets it, I don't have to keep giving her that energy. She found it. She found the movement. That's when I become more neutral, but I don't lose my energy. I don't just, okay, you got it now, just keep doing it. I'm still with her. I'm still present. My energy is still helping her move. But I'm no longer having to add more because she found it. She knows what I want. I don't have to continue on with that energy level. So that's a really important one to remember, is coming up and down with that energy. The other ones you want to watch for, like I said, what part is not moving. If her hindquarter is closer to you and she's leading with her forehand, you probably need to give a little bit more energy back here to that hindquarter and say, hey, that needs to catch up. Same thing with the forehand. If it's lagging behind, you need to add more energy toward that piece of her and get it caught back up with the hindquarter. And then the other one to watch for, of course, is to see those steps crossing over in front of the other foot. You want the closest foot to you to cross over the furthest foot away. So it is, like I said, again, a little bit of a forward motion instead of a sucking back motion. You want a forward fluid motion and stepping across. That kind of wraps it up for the side glide. Imagination, things that you can continue on with. You see us work a lot with logs or our poles on the ground. That also gives you a focal point. That gives you a chance to see if you're really getting that straight line and things are really coming together nicely, or if you've got something lagging. And that's another whole aspect of getting them used to having something down between their front feet and their back feet. So you touch on a couple of different things there, but just giving you kind of ideas to go further with these exercises after you have the basic exercise down. It's not just something that you get and, oh, that's the only way you use it. There's a lot of ways to use this. So again, this is Shauna with Heart to Heart Horsemanship, with this information coming straight from my heart, straight to you. Hope it helps.